Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Pop Preview. I'm Sean.
I'm Alex.
And today we're watching the New Mutants trailer number 2.
Can you believe how long ago it was that we got the first trailer for
Yeah,
this movie?
it was.
So maybe you want to explain to some of the people who may not have been following this saga what exactly happened with this movie.
Yeah, so quick synopsis of what's going on. So the New Mutants was supposed to come out years ago.
Yeah.
It was supposed to come out around the same time originally the Dark Phoenix was coming out. Even that got pushed back. A lot of it has to do with the Fox-Disney merger, but a lot of it was they weren't 100% sure what direction they were going in. So once the movie was shot, they had done some reshoots, and they had to wait a while to do the reshoots because Game of Thrones was still being shot. So
Maisie Williams
was involved with that, so that played a part, and it also played a part in Dark Phoenix too. Funny enough. So once they did some reshoots, then they were gonna try to lean more towards the rated R version of what the original plan was, and then the Fox-Disney merger happened, and the movie got delayed, just like Dark Phoenix got delayed, and there were rumors that they weren't even gonna release the movie. Then there were rumors that they were going to release the movie on Hulu because Disney doesn't want anything rated R on Disney Plus. So with the new footage that they got, it was probably going to be a rated R.
Wow.
And it was going to go on Hulu at one point. And then now they decided they were going to release it theatrically, which is going to be now April 3rd. But now they're going back to the original version and apparently scrapping all the reshoot stuff that they got. And going with the director's original version, and that is probably going to be PG-13, and then we're going to get that. And this is a doesn't tie to anything in the MCU, which I was reading a lot of stuff on the internet. Yeah, this is in MCU. No, it's not. This is still a Fox movie. Kevin Feige had nothing to do with this. This is just them. Hey, we have something was shot already. You might as well do something with it. So let's just release it.
I mean, this is very interesting to me, and I kind of just want to watch the trailer that we have now, and then maybe we'll talk about tonally how it's changed or not changed, and what it means for this superhero saga that we're watching. So maybe we'll just watch it.
Yeah.
Can we do that? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
What's the last thing you remember, Danny? He said we had to run. The reason you survived is because you're a very uncommon girl. You're not alone. Not anymore. Do you know what mutants are? Would anyone like to share their first time? Rain?
I was 13. I thought it was a dream. I just lost control.
Sam?
I started panicking. People got hurt.
Roberto?
My girlfriend had burned her.
Liliana?
I killed 18 men, one by one. This isn't a hospital. It's a cage.
It's important we find out your power so we can help you get better.
I saw something I don't think she wanted me to see. I don't think we're here to get better.
This place takes your greatest fear and makes you live through it until it kills you.
Who's there? We can get out of this together.
I have some thoughts.
Okay.
Thought one. This is a superhero movie like we've never seen before. Because this is a horror film.
Yes.
And that excites me because I'm so freaking bored of superhero films the way they've been told up to now.
Okay.
So this is really interesting to me. Oh God, my brain is like going a million miles an hour. Do you have any thoughts?
I mean, you're kind of right, and the thing about superhero movies, like to your point, is that a lot of people think, oh, at some point there's gonna be superhero fatigue, and everybody keeps like waiting to say, aha, look, there's superhero fatigue, so they can go away. But when they mix other genres into the superhero genre, it kind of changes the game a little bit, which we've kind of been seeing in the new age of superhero movies. I would say since Iron Man: The Dark Knight, we've been seeing different genres in the superhero genre, and this is now, to my opinion, the first kind of horror movie. I mean,
yes, at least the trailer.
Yeah, it kind of portrays it that way, almost kind of like a Blumhouse.
Yes.
Kind of
my gosh.
movie
yes. Totally.
In a superhero. Yeah, which would be kind of nice. Which I actually kind of did with Brightburn. If you haven't seen that, please check that out.
Oh yeah, amazing. That's a great point.
So actually, that's kind of in the vein of this. So I'm liking that it gives off that vibe of like these mutants not 100% control their powers. They're kind of dangerous. They get put in this kind of asylum kind of, and they have to shenanigans happens. I like it. Like I like the first trailer. I like this. Like, and the fact that this isn't gonna ever go anywhere after that. I like this idea of just like going in, seeing what happens, and then that's it. Like one and done. Which back in the day, there actually used to be movies. They made one, and that was it. Now,
Can you believe it?
Yeah. What?
Wow.
Yeah. So like we're gonna meet these characters, things are gonna happen, and then that's it.
So okay, this is maybe taking it a little too far in terms of like overanalyzing, but. I guess I've been listening to too many podcasts, maybe, but this is very like those gay camps that people are sent to where they're trying to fix them being gay, where it's like, oh, you have to be straight now, and they like really put you through the ringer.
Brainwash you.
And in terms of like trying to get you to be straight if you're a gay person, and they're called conversion camps, and I don't know, something about this kind of brought up that whole thing to me, which I'm sure that wasn't maybe the intent, but it's a real thing that happens where it's kind of like you're taking, so this whole movie is about you have these mutant powers. It's like, oh, we're going to fix you, we're going to make you better, we're going to make it so that you're not this weird and crazy and whatever. But these things are happening in real life.
Yeah, I mean, like the X-Men has always kind of been like that. There's like a little spin on like civil rights stuff, prejudice.
It's really, really interesting. I mean, and then they're sitting in this group. There's like this group chat, and everyone's kind of saying the terrible things that they've done, and I don't know. It's just very appropriate, I think, to things that actually happen in the real world, and so that's a horror film for me.
Yeah, I mean, like. It better be a horror film. Like if they're like playing one over us on it, and I go in there and it's not a horror film, I'm gonna be super annoyed.
Wow.
But I kind of deal with what you're saying in the fact that because like it's a good spin-off also of like the X-Men as well, because Xavier's whole idea was like you're not an outcast, you have a gift. Let's harness that gift and use it.
That doesn't seem to be what they're planning.
No. I'm saying it's quite the opposite.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You like something's wrong with you. Like, let's try to fix you. Yeah, you're broken. I'm going to try to fix you, but then kind of maybe use you at the same time. But it's a good contrast of what the X-Men universe to that point in that universe has been setting up and dealing with.
Absolutely, and that's what I feel is so interesting about superhero stories, is because it's not always like, oh, I have this power, I'm going to save the world. Like, it's never... Life isn't that easy. And obviously,
in real life it wouldn't
we don't live in that world, obviously. Like, some of us have superpowers, like, I'm really good at spreadsheets, or, like... I can cook really well and prep my meals for the week. Like, those are like normal superhero things that we deal with here. But I think it's a really interesting thing to take this whole superhero thing and turn it into like this dark, very scary story.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I mean, if this movie does anything else just to prove that, like you can do a a blockbuster horror film in the superhero genre.
Yes.
If that's all it, because if you saw Brightburn, that movie proved it too on a lower scale, but you should still check it out if you haven't seen it. It's amazing. Picture if Superman went bad. That's basically what that movie is. So in this, maybe the MCU at some point might take one of their darker characters and do a horror film kind of in that vein. Maybe also DC will do the exact same thing. So if this movie's legacy is anything, hopefully it's not just going to be one offshoot that like, oh, the last thing Fox did with the Mutants before Disney bought it. Maybe it's like to prove that horror films, and maybe it would have been a good idea to make it R, but I can understand why they didn't go that route. The mouse doesn't like that. But it can still be scary on a PG-13 level. So
sure. And the other thing I wanted to bring up, we have Disney Plus now. Yeah. So we have a Disney streaming service where the possibility to make a show is like, for Disney related things is like more possible than ever. And I personally think that a lot of these stories can be better told as a serialized kind of thing.
Oh yeah, this could work as a serialized.
Yeah, so this stands on its own. New Mutants, not really related to anything else, a bigger picture. But I can really see the potential where this might be something really interesting to tell, like in a serialized way, like a 10-episode series
absolutely.
or something like that. So
and maybe not on Disney Plus because they really want to like push the envelope. Like remember, Disney controls Hulu, so and they're still keeping the 20th Century label, so they're ditching the Fox, and it's gonna be 20th Century Studios. So they can still put anything that is not PG-13, like Deadpool.
Yeah.
Probably like if they ever want to revisit the New Mutants and put it in a serialized thing or in a movie, they still have the 20th Century Studios label that they can put it under. Or if they do a show, they can put it on Hulu, because that's where Deadpool is gonna end up living when his movie comes out. After it's probably gonna be on 20th Century's label. They're not gonna put Disney on Deadpool because that's gonna be rated R for sure. So they're gonna put it under that label, and then they'll probably live on Hulu. It won't live on Disney Plus. So I think there's a possibility, and maybe that's also one of the reasons Disney did, because they could have easily just put this on the shelf and did nothing with it. It wasn't their money at the time when it was made, but they can easily this is a good way to test the waters to see how a movie like this can do, what the response is, and then maybe Kevin Feige could. Obviously, they're going to recast all this and do it his way, but then they can say, well, maybe we've seen that a movie like that could work. Maybe you should try that in some capacity, if not with the Mutants, with some other characters, maybe in the MCU, and see what happens. Or maybe DC could do the exact same thing.
There's so many weird possibilities, you know? So, like, this movie can really branch off into a couple different ways, but I'm hoping, as we've talked about before on the channel, that it just stands alone as a good movie.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's a good movie.
We're talking a lot about, the future and, how this could branch off and all that stuff, but it doesn't matter. I want this to just be a good movie.
Yeah.
That we can enjoy and be like, wow, that was scary, or that was intense, or that was fun, or whatever you want to label it as. That's
I want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like I want to enjoy it, and especially because there's not going to be a New Mutants 2, so it's like I just want to go in there and just watch it and enjoy it, and it satisfies me and entertain me. Yeah. That's the most important thing. Yeah. Everything else we're talking about doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I want it to be a good movie.
Yeah.
And whatever happens after that, happens after that.
Exactly.
But if at anything else, it's just nice to see that it's actually going to come out. Because we liked the first trailer when it came out, and we kind of had the same thoughts about, it's a superhero horror film. That sounds interesting. And we were like, we can't wait to see the second trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Years later. 2
years later.
Years later, we were like, now we're getting it. And the movie's finally coming out. All right, so what are you guys' thoughts about the New Mutants? Are you excited that Disney's actually releasing this movie? What are your thoughts about it being PG-13? Would you have liked to see rated R? Even though the movie says that it's not rated yet, it's going to be PG-13. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? What are your thoughts about technically this being the last mutant movie from the Fox generation? It's been like since 2000 to 2020.
That's true.
20 years.
That's true.
Which is kind of crazy. And Dark Phoenix was, and we'll see what this movie. Maybe this is a better way for the mutants to go out. Maybe, hopefully, this movie's good.
Yeah.
But what are you guys' thoughts? Leave the comments below. Also, like, subscribe, share, do all those great things. If there's another trailer that comes out, which there probably will be, even though this movie comes out in April, not that far from now, I would put a lot of money that there will be another trailer. When that comes out, we'll do that. But when the movie does come out in April, we'll definitely do a review on that.
Okay.
Because I'm fascinated about, this is just a one and done. We don't get those a lot anymore. Because any movie that's successful now, let's make it into a franchise. Or it already is a franchise. Or we're rebooting a franchise. But anyway, with that being said, until next time, I'm Sean.
I'm Alex.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you for joining us.